What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to This Is the Way. Welcome to episode 12. This is season 2, episode 4 of The Mandalorian. My name is Kyle. I'm your host here. We got Baby Yoda. We got This Is the Way t-shirt, as always, the Mando helmet, and this fucking scene. This amazing TIE fighter scene where Mando takes him out and he's spinning. We'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen this before, I'm just going to do a quick recap of each episode of The Mandalorian. This is what I think is the best episode of season 2 so far. So basically, what we find out in this episode, Mando goes back to see Carl Weathers and Gina Carano's character, Cara, who's now Marshall. We get the blue dude from the pilot episode that comes back, which was a cool nod. I think they used him a little too much, but basically Mando comes back home. He's like, I need some ship repairs. That's all fine and good. Carl Weathers is like, hey, we have one more base we need to take out. He's like, if you can help us clear out this space, there's a skeleton crew, but for some reason they're still guarding this Imperial base. He's like, but once that's free, the planet will be safe. We can use it for the trade market. He's like, it's gonna have a lot more value. So Mando agrees to go on this mission here. So we have Mando, Carl Weathers, Gina Carano, and the blue dude who comes along. He like brings them over in the speeder. But they show up at the base. They can't get in through the door. Mando jets up to the top there, takes out a few stormtroopers, opens the door. The blue guy's like, I'm gonna stay out here. He's like, that's fine. And he's like, you know what? That's fine. But once the lava comes, like, you know, we'll throw you down a rope or whatever. And he's like, all right, I'll come with. So we go in the Imperial base. They take out a few stormtroopers. Really, really cool. It's always cool to see the inside of an Imperial base because it's just got that classic Star Wars, like the white walls and that same aesthetic that's been around since A New Hope, really. So they go in there. Eventually they find out that they've actually been trying to clone Baby Yoda. And so this is a transmission from the Doctor from the first season where Mando takes Baby Yoda back and he lets him live when they're doing like the test scans through Baby Yoda. And they see like cloning pods and they can't get a true replica, but this I thought was reminding me of a lot of like episode 9, how like Snoke is cloned and like all of that. This kind of kicks it off, I think, where this is the first time they're like messing around with cloning. So I don't know if this is going to tie into episode 9, but this is between like the First Order, episode 7, and then Return of the Jedi. So that's super, super cool. I hope they can connect it. There's like about 30 years or so between Force Awakens happens and Return of the Jedi ends. So we have like no idea what happened between that. We always ask like, well, where did the First Order come from? Well, hopefully we get to see what that is, but that's really cool space that they can experience with it, or experiment with it, pardon the pun. But I hope Disney explores that because that could be awesome. But basically, Mando's like, no, this must be like an older transmission, and they're like, no, this is from 3 days ago. So they find out that Moff Gideon is still alive. Again, really weird that they didn't check the TIE fighter to make sure he was dead the first time, but that could come back to bite them. Also, what I didn't touch on, Mando drops Yoda off like at school, in Navarro, I think it's called. And so he has to like hurry back to get Baby Yoda because they didn't know that Moff Gideon was still alive and that this cloning facility was actively trying to clone Baby Yoda. So they're obviously still after Baby Yoda. So he's freaking out. He's like, I gotta get back. So he runs home. There's a funny scene. Baby Yoda's like in school at like a little desk, and he like force gets one of like the Manila wafers from the kid who won't share with Baby Yoda. He's just like brings it over and starts eating it. Then he later throws it up. There's like a cute scene where Baby Yoda has like a juice box in the scene actually, and he's just like flailing with his arms up. That's all super cute stuff. Mando feels a lot more like a dad to Baby Yoda now. So we get those cute scenes. The episode actually opens with an awesome scene of Baby Yoda trying to like reconnect the wires for the ship, and he's like in a little tiny crawl space, and Mando's like, okay, he's like, you see the red one? He's like, put the red one where the blue one is and the blue one where the red one is. And he's like, but make sure you don't touch those because they're opposites attract. And Baby Yoda's like, And then he like zaps himself. So that's really cute. But anyway, back to kind of the main action here. So they escape in like an old truck sort of thing. I don't know what type of vehicle it is. The blue guy says what type of vehicle, and he's like, we can get a lot of that we can get a lot for that on the black market, but they escape in that. They crush the speeder, and then we get an awesome chase scene where all of the stormtroopers come out in like the speed bikes where they all drop down. 2 of them crash, but like this all looks super cool. Again, the production is way up from season 1. It looks so much, it's like a whole different show. It looks way better than anything they did in season 1. Season 1, the speeder bike chase kind of sticks out as looking low budget or not looking great in the desert. They did a much better job here. They go through like a dark canyon. This looks a lot like episode 9 aesthetically, actually, or even Last Jedi. It's like that dark, the colors really pop out. Really awesome stuff. Carl Weathers takes out one of the TIE fighters. And the TIE fighters are always awesome. Like that sound is so iconic. Or it's like that, and that was a terrible impression, but like, you know what I'm talking about, where it's like that screaming sound. And they come down, he takes out one, but it takes out their cannon. They're in the middle of the field and they don't have weapons now. And then that's when Mando swoops in at the last second, takes out a couple of TIE fighters, and then takes out this last one by like spinning. Just awesome stuff. So yeah, we don't know where Mando's going next, but his ship is like good as new. He does a sick maneuver in the air where he goes up and then like throws the brakes on and then goes full speed back down. So all that stuff is so cool. And then yeah, Mando's going somewhere. We don't know. I guess he's still trying to go find Ahsoka Tano. But his ship is repaired now, so he can go wherever he needs to go there. And they did blow up the base. They like started the nuclear reactor or whatever, so that base is gone. But we get an awesome scene at the end where Moff Gideon has like a elite like troopers that he's getting ready. I thought he was gonna get like a Vader suit for a second, so I was really excited, but he's got like a whole bunch of troopers that kind of are coming there. So all that stuff is super cool. For me, this is a new number 1, guys. This is not a 9.5 for me, just above the pilot. And then if you remember last week, I gave it a 9.3 for last week's episode. This is just a whole nother level. Production, story, characters. We get a big development in Baby Yoda cloning here, which kind of opens up the whole Snoke cloning thing, and eventually Palpatine will be coming back, so we don't know if it has to do with it, but I'm looking forward to seeing those story threads connect. And like I said, seeing how, like, if we get like an origin story for the First Order, or like see the First Order coming up, or we get like Hux in this series, that would be awesome. So super excited to see what's to come. That's been kind of my quick review of episode 12 of The Mandalorian. Thank you for joining me for This Is the Way, guys, and until next time, this is the way.